Hey there and welcome. Today we are diving into a brilliantly simple but oh so powerful memory tool, the acrostic. It's an incredible technique for when you need to remember a list of things, not just randomly, but in a very specific, crucial order. So let me ask you a question. What on earth do planets, math, and rainbows all have in common? I know it sounds like the beginning of a weird joke, right? But the answer is actually a simple trick our brains can use to remember them all in perfect order. It's a memory technique we're about to unlock together. Okay, think about it like this. You've got two kinds of lists in your life. First, there's a shopping list. The order doesn't really matter, does it? You can grab the milk before the eggs, no big deal. But then you have something like a recipe. Here, the sequence is everything. You can't bake the cake before you mix in the eggs. The whole thing falls apart. Some information just has to be in the right order. And for those moments, for those times when the order is absolutely critical, there's this beautifully elegant solution that's probably been hiding in plain sight for years, and it's called the acrostic. At its core, the acrostic is just, well, it's beautifully simple. It's just a sentence where the first letter of each and every word acts as a trigger or a hook for an item on your list. It basically locks everything into a specific sequence for you. Now, this brings us to a really common point of confusion: acrostics versus acronyms. So let's clear this up right now. The bottom line is this. You use an acrostic when the sequence is vital, like steps in a process. You use an acronym, think NASA or SCUBA, when you just need to remember the items themselves, and the order doesn't really matter. All right, enough theory. Let's put this thing to the test with a classic example from math class that you probably already know, even if you don't realize it. So here we have it, the mathematical order of operations. To get the right answer to a complex problem, you have to do them in this exact sequence. Now, just trying to memorize this list as is, it's pretty tough, right? PEMDAS. It doesn't stick. Our brains just aren't wired for that. But what if we used this sentence instead? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. All of a sudden, it just clicks. The first letter of each word gives you the sequence perfectly. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. It's almost impossible to forget. And here is the secret sauce. This is the key to making acrostics that are unbelievably effective. The source material puts it perfectly. The weirder the sentence, the better. And why is that? Well, it's because our brains are literally wired to remember things that are vivid, unusual, or even just plain funny. A strange mental image sticks way better than a boring one. So now that you've seen it in action, it's your turn. We're going to apply this weirder is better rule and build our own acrostic right here, right now. And we're going to try it with the colors of the rainbow. I'm sure you know most of the colors in a rainbow, but could you list them out in their perfect scientific order? That's the real challenge, and it's exactly where an acrostic becomes your best friend. Okay, so here are our building blocks. The first letters of the rainbow's colors in order are ROYGBIV. That's for red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Now just take a second. Your mission is to create a weird and wonderful sentence that starts with those letters. You got one? Here's a great one that really illustrates the point. A classic is, really old yaks get bored in vans. I mean, you can probably picture that ridiculous image in your head right now, can't you? And because it's so vivid and so silly, it's incredibly memorable. You'll probably never forget the order of the rainbow again. So, you've learned the what, the why, and the how. The only thing left to do now is to turn this powerful technique into a real habit. So it's time for a little challenge to lock in this brand new skill. Here's a simple challenge for you for the next week. Just try creating 3 little acrostics. You could tackle a historical timeline, or maybe the steps for your favorite recipe, or even the order of the planets from the sun. The more you practice, I promise, the more this skill will just become second nature. And let's end on this fantastic thought, because this isn't just about making up silly sentences. It's really about creating clarity in your mind. And as the quote says, when things are clear, you focus. And when you focus, you excel. This simple tool helps you clear out all that mental clutter so you can really perform at your best. So I'll leave you with this final question to think about. Whether it's for your job, a hobby, or maybe just for fun, what important sequence in your life will you master first using your new acrostic superpower?